The National Air and Space Museum will open its doors on July 1st, 1976. The new museum will house an international history of aviation, aircraft that achieved fame because they were the first, or the fastest, the only, or the greatest, or because they symbolize a moment that may never happen again. Some exhibits are already on display at temporary headquarters in the Smithsonian Institution. Dozens of others await the loving reconstruction that takes place on a back lot called Silver Hill. To local residents, Silver Hill may be just another suburban depot, but to aviation enthusiasts around the world, Silver Hill means flight.
Les essais n'étaient pas toujours concluants et le pilote s'en tirait parfois après un bain forcé. C'est le 21 septembre, à Buc, qu'il accomplit cet exploit sur monoplan Blériot.
Sagen Sie bitte diesen Herrn Prosit und ich wünsche Ihnen viel Glück.
Oh, what did Jerry Prisoner say, Pete?
He said Prosit, Lieutenant, and he wishes you good luck.
Same to you, buddy. With a little more luck like you had today, my German friend, you may live to be an old man.
Hey, Captain, something's fishy.
Let the what maybe would happen. You had to be careful all the time.
If it ever happened to you in combat, your chances of living to tell about it were not too good.
I've been meaning to ask you, Captain. What are we doing with that old relic of a Newport 83 two-seater? You know, the one that's fixing up in the back of number 3 hangar tent.
I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe General Mitchell wants to take it home with him and show it off.
It sounds just like the General, doesn't it?
Hey, Eddie, some show off, huh?
Maybe they're going to put that old Newport 83 in a museum or something back in the States.
In the National Aeronautical Collection, we have about 250 airplanes now.
Colonel Roscoe Turner, speed demon, inspects his powerful racing plane and then climbs in to give several hundred aviation fans a sample of the type of flying that has won for him the East and West and other speed records.
Roscoe Turner was all flamboyance. He sought the limelight to try to publicize both himself and aviation, and did a lot for both. Gilmore was Roscoe Turner's pet lion. In the earlier days of flying, in the early 30s, he flew for the Gilmore Oil Company. That company had a lion as its symbol. So he got a lion cub, and he was photographed very regularly with it. But he did a lot to help aviation. He was a noted race pilot. He entered a number of the big races and won quite a few of them. He won the Bendix, which was the cross-country race, the big race, which used to be very popular and widely covered in this country in the 30s, in the so-called golden era of aviation.
The NC-4 came in from Norfolk, shipped up by boat to us, and when it got here, there were sections of the wings that were completely missing, busted up, parts that were gone. We had no drawings. We just visualized what it would look like at that time, at that period, when they made that airplane.
Try to duplicate original methods as much as possible, and original materials too.
When the fabric man guy puts the fabric on the aircraft, they don't put it on too tight because they've got to bring it up, put water on it, and it draws it up. And then when they start applying their dope, the dope keeps drawing it. So if you have it too tight, when you put it on, well, you can bust the structure of the wood.
That was used by the Army Air Service in 1923. The Army Air Service flew from Roosevelt Field, Long Island, which no longer exists, from there to San Diego. It took 27 hours and 50 minutes and some seconds. And it was the first non-stop cross-country flight. That's the Lockheed Vega that she used to fly the Atlantic in 1932. She was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic.
Here was a revolutionary advancement, opening up a tremendous new field of possibilities. The airship and the airplane, working together in this manner, could perform many useful functions neither one could perform alone. The speed and maneuverability of the airplane complemented the longer range and larger carrying capacity of the airship.
This is the Mark 7 Spitfire. The original design on the Spitfire was a straight wing airplane. They found out that the straight wing would not carry the armament that they predicted they needed to carry in the airplane. So they came out with this type of an elliptical wing, which made the Spitfire quite famous. It was England's primary airplane all through the war. It was a very well-made airplane. It was a good airplane. The ME-109 was developed with a bunch of bad tendencies. The Germans never corrected all through the production of them. To take off, landing anywhere. It was a very awkward airplane to handle. When you put on the brakes, it just flipped right over on its back.
Remember when you were taking a trainer through these same maneuvers. The P-47 is a bigger, faster, and heavier ship. The P-47 can reach a speed of 500 miles per hour indicated from an altitude of 10,000 feet or below.
This HAMP, as it is commonly referred to, was captured at the Buna Aerodrome in the Southwest Pacific Theater of Operation. While the Japanese Type 0 fighter HAMP is not one of the best fighters, with a Jap at the controls, it is maneuverable, tricky, and a dangerous opponent.
A Japanese suicide rocket bomb used to attack our ships. The rocket carries a 2,500-pound explosive head in the nose. Although these suicide planes have done some damage, most are destroyed before they reach their targets.
第63区。
At 9 the next morning, the White House plane, the Sacred Cow, reaches the Washington National Airport.
I had done some volunteer work with the Smithsonian in town. One day came to visit the complex here at Silver Hill, and I had never realized what had happened with the Enola Gay. I had read a lot about it. When I saw it here, I was surprised. I got my way inside and saw the bad condition it was in. And I mentioned it to Mr. Casey, the Smithsonian, and he said, I'd like to take the job of reconditioning it. I thought it would be a pretty good project. I've been working on it about a year and a half now. During the bomb run, the bombardier actually flew the plane by autopilot, and he directed the plane during the final minutes of the bomb run.
With a smile and a wave, he's ready to take off for a test spin in his repowered craft. His 1,000-horsepower motor whisks him into the air, and there he goes at the unofficially recorded speed of 305 miles an hour, a new record for the Wayne County Airport course. She certainly is a great little ship, said the colonel when he landed, and he ought to know.
Geez, what's all of this? Hi, Don. Good to see you. How are you? Yeah, fine. Let me just straight in, no problem at all. It weighs about 700 pounds empty without fuel, and it'll stand on its nose. It'll clear about 15 feet at the top.
How much problem is it to get those wheel fans off?
No problem. We'll have to take them off because to roll it up, we'll have to do. That's easy. There's only four little screws in there that hold them on, so that'll be real simple. This is the same airplane that the whole team used over in Europe in '72. They were all single-place pits like this, except Art Scholes. He had the two-place over there, which is a little bit larger than this.
Yeah, this is the airplane that made you clean sweep.
That's right. Won the men's, the women's, the second time for the world team for us. Now they're quite an airplane when you figure they were designed back in the 40s.
Since flight was young, men have flown much further, stretched broader wings, and made deeper imprints in history. But these moments past were thrill enough for those who never knew that we might one day meet not another race or nation in the air, but voyagers for whom we'll have to name another species.